Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rukah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the light Akim on the four corners, pushing the truth and sincerity. Peace be unto you. This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 8. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communications of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. Now, putting off the old man is one of the things that we must do to enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is why Yahweh Shai said, was at John chapter 3, I want to say verse 3, where he talked about being born again. I'll start with verse 1. John chapter 3, verse 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahweh Shai by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher from God, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest, except God be with him. Yahweh Shai answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. You're right. So when you're born again, you're not an old man anymore. You're putting off the old man. And this is constant. This is something constantly got to do is keep putting off the old man. This ain't just a one-time thing. There's so many things we've been indoctrinated into in this captivity, through the world. There's so many bad habits that we come and put about. You got to keep putting it off. And each day, Esau is thinking about new ways to put on the old man. I was seeing a video about an ISUPK member. He had a rap group. It was a rap song called like "I Just Want to Ball," and in the song, he's saying he calling his Akim niggas. Now, that's a prime example of putting the old man back on. Here you are, you supposed to be coming out of the world. You in the hip hop rapping, and then you calling your brothers niggas, and he said something like, "I build a whole city for my niggas." That's a prime example of putting the old man back on. That's the old man that you got to put off. You get to the point where you calling your own brothers niggas. That's what people in the world do. This ain't thing about making this thing, liberal for people in the world so they can ease their way into it. No. They got to count the cards before they come in. This is stuff they got to put off. And you doing that is helping them. Okay, yeah, well, I can lead us on in the truth. So if you doing that song, then you can just go around, just go do it in the synagogue, in the churches, in ISUPK. You just go around and say, "Hey, what up, my nigga?" Don't even greet them with "what up." I just say, "Hey, what up, my nigga?" Verse 3 again says, Yahweh Shai answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Nicodemus saith unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Yahweh Shai answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee. So he's thinking, okay, so he's being simple-minded. Like, okay, I'm going to be born again, so I'm supposed to just, go back in my mom's stomach and come right back out again. Yahweh Shai answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the spirit is spirit. Right, so you got to be born of the spirit, and it's putting off this old man. Verse 7, Marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. That's all I want to grab out of that verse. that chapter. I want to go to Matthew's, I think 19:3 or 18:3. I want to say 18:3. Okay, yeah. This is how you're born again. This is more on how you're born again. This is Matthew 18:1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" Thinking about carnal things. This is that old man that Yahushua saw in him, and he took the time because the old man was worrying about ranking order. When you a new baby, you ain't thinking about ranking order. Matthew 18:1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, "Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and becomest as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." So the Most High, Yahushua is saying, using an example of a child, because a child doesn't have that old man on him yet. He grows up and then, he's taught all the things of the world. He hasn't been taught anything yet. So that tender age is going to decide where he's going to go. He's going to go left. He's going to go right. He's going to go west. He's going to go east. He's going to go north. He's going to go south. That's why Scripture says, "Train up a child in the way he shall grow, and he shall not depart." When you become a little child again, you're supposed to be trained up again. And then you're not going to depart from this truth. Verse 4, "Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child." A child is a perfect example of being humble, because a child isn't concerned about, ranking order, who's going to be the greatest in the kingdom. That's the last thing on that child's mind. Verse 5, it says, "Whosoever shall receive one such as child, Salakia, and whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me." So you receive, somebody who has humbled himself, who's been born again. You receive the Most High. So a person who, let's say even Paul, he was a murderer. He used to kill God's chosen people. He was born again. If you receive somebody like him, you receive Yahushua. Verse 6, "But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me." So let's say somebody, is born again and they're humble, and they believe in Yahushua, and you offend them. Verse 6, "But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea." So that's how serious this is. It's basically saying it's better for you to basically go kill yourself than accumulate more and more sins upon yourself, because you're going to die anyways. So why would you, accumulate more of these sins and then die than just die right now? You bet it's best if you just kill yourself, you just whack yourself. So somebody who's born again, who receives the Spirit of the Most High, you're not supposed to offend them. And if a child is still learning, he's still coming up. A child is still constantly learning. And that's the thing, when you're born again, you're going to, trying to put off this old man of the world, and you still trying to keep learning. This, this ain't a overnight thing for some people. Some people constantly fight. Some people don't fight the same demons that you fight with. Slakia. Okay. Verse 10. And verse 9, "Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. So you put on a new man. The new man is talking about the new child, because you're still a man, just like how Nicodemus thought, was ignorantly saying, oh, how am I supposed to be born again? He's still going to be a man even after he's born again. But that new man is created is slacky. That new man is equated to being that young child that enters into the kingdom of heaven again. So you become that new child again. I mean, you're still a man, but you're supposed to be able to, put on that verse. Matter of fact, read it. This is, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge. Right. So once you're supposed to be renewed in knowledge, because you're miseducated. So now you got to be re-educated, as opposed to a child. It's easier to teach somebody who's uneducated and educate them, as opposed to somebody that's miseducated. Somebody that's miseducated, they got to, put off all that stuff. They've been doing something the wrong way. They got a habit of something. It's hard to break bad habits. A new child don't have bad habits. He's trying to learn. So you're supposed to be, renewed in this knowledge. And on that note, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, Barakatah, and Shalom.